It's 9:30, Monday morning, May 23rd. We'll call this special, well, not special, just, special session of the Somervell County Commissioners Court to order. Let the record show Larry Halsey, John Curtis, Danny Chambers, Kenneth Wood, and Don Krantz are all present. And it's been requested by Mr. Watts if we'll do number 4 and 5 first and second, and then we'll go back to the top. Is that correct, Brian?
That is correct, sir.
All right, number 4, open seal proposals for Expo Retail Store lease.
We have received 2 proposals in. And the first one is from a business, Cadillac Dreams. Debbie Williams has submitted that along with an addendum that came in prior to the cutoff. And then the second proposal submitted is Rose Creek Lori Abbott. All right, those are the 2 proposals that have come in. And the reason I wanted to move those forward is because Carrie's going to go and make copies of those and bring them back for our executive session.
Would you like a motion to accept them?
Yes.
I have a motion from Larry,
Second.
second from John. Any further questions or discussion? All in favor of said motion? That's 5 for, 0 against. Item number 5, which is now item number 2, open seal bids for Coverstone and hot mix cold lay.
For Coverstone, we received 1, and it is from Vulcan, who is our current provider. That's the only one for Coverstone. And we also received 1 for hot mix cold lay from Vulcan as well. And that's the only one we've received on the hot mix cold lay.
Do I have a motion to receive these bids?
So moved.
I have a motion by John. Second. Second by, we'll go with John. We'll give John that. All in favor of said motion? That's 5 for, 0 against. Now we'll jump to number 1. Discuss, take action on approval of contract with DSHS and Somervell County District Clerk, County and District Clerk, I apologize. Michelle, I guess that would be you.
Yes, I'm just asking the court to approve a renewal contract for the contract that we have currently with the Department of State Health Services for our remote works. And I actually had a meeting with this over in the
All right.
and it takes effect September 1st, actually.
September 1st. Does anyone have any questions for Michelle?
Michelle, this is just a renewal of the existing contract.
Correct.
Any changes or
No
modifications to that contract from what is present in place?
No, there are no changes. We actually pay a fee to the Department of State Health Services of $1.83 per remote birth certificate that we print. And so that figure has not changed.
Is that a renewal for 2 years?
It is. Well, it's September 1st, 2016, and it ends on August 31st, 2018. So yes.
Any other questions for Michelle? I have a motion to enter into this contract with DSHS by Larry. Second. I have a second by Kenneth. Any further questions or discussion? All in favor of said motion? It's 5 for, 0 against. I'll sign this and just leave it right here, Michelle,
Okay.
and then you'll have it.
No, they didn't make it known.
Okay.
How we doing, Andy?
Good, Judge.
All right, item number 2, discuss take action on contract between Glen Rose Independent School District and Somervell County for technology services, which is the IT group. I don't know if y'all noticed, there was 2 changes in there. Rotan changed the technician salary from $40,000 to $41,000 for 2 technicians, which raised it by $2,000. Is that correct, Brian?
Yes, sir.
Is that the only notices, changes that you saw at
That's the
all?
only thing I noticed. Yes, sir.
Andy reviewed it also. If y'all have any questions, I will try to answer them, Brian, Andy, or myself. The rest of the contract is exactly what we did last year. And it is good for 1 year, correct? Up till May 31st of
May
2017.
31st. Yes, sir.
Okay.
And this is independent of the data center contract.
Yes,
So
yes.
this is 2 different deals.
And this contract has got like 30-day out clause. If somewhere down the road during this year, y'all want to look at it, review it, or if you want to review it at the end of next year, whichever, if we find a better way to go. Right now, I'm afraid we're too early in the process to find another way to go, because we're right in the middle of too many projects. So that's personal opinion.
And frankly, it's been successful.
Yes, we've accomplished a lot in the past year.
So everyone's pleased, seems to be.
Seems to be, and things are running, and I mean, our downtime is remarkably low, and what's really good is responsiveness, I think, is, you know, we're getting things addressed in the same day, which is highly unusual based upon what it used to be.
And I'm also meeting with them in the morning at 9, just to meet with Doug and Eddie and Paul and get them all in the room. Let's talk about, since we renewed it, where we're headed, what we're doing, and if we do renew it, and see where our goals are for the next year.
I'll make the motion.
I have a motion by Larry.
Second.
I have a second by Kenneth. Any further questions or discussion? All in favor of said motion? It's 5 for, 0 against. You are back there, aren't you? All right, discuss, take action on credit card fees for tax assessor office. Darlene, you want to come to the podium in case they've got any questions for you? We went over this when we were doing the budget talks. I think she's done some research and all that. Darlene, would you check that mic, see if it's turned on?
The red light's on.
All right,
Yes,
cool.
it is. I just wanted to kind of see where you guys were on passing the keys on to the customer. If it's something you feel like we're gonna want to do, we can probably make that happen before next budget. I just need a little bit of time to let people know, maybe a month, where we can kind of tell them next year when they come in, they may see this. And I can do some more research and see. I want to really get the best rate that I can for the customer is the biggest research, and it looks like they're all pretty much the same. They have minimums, $1 minimum, $3 minimum, but most of them is 2.35%, which on the average registration is $1.65.
Y'all probably remember that we're up to a little over, what, $6,000 this year the county will be paying on credit card fees through your office?
Yes.
And that's a rough guess, maybe between $6,000 and $7,000 for the year or so.
I hate to do it. I hate to go back to charging it after not charging it, but with budget cuts and just reality is that's something that we could do away with.
And the path we're on is, it'll be over $10,000 within the next few years. There's no doubt in my
Yeah,
mind.
it's just continually going up.
There's a bigger majority use credit card.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think you said that around the area, there are a lot of other counties that charge too.
Yes. Yeah, there's much fewer that absorb it than don't.
And you don't know how much you get said you're checking on rates.
I'm checking on it, most of it's 2.35%. There's a few of them that it's different for a debit card, or it's $1.50 for a debit card. But most of them, it works out about the same.
So you're, what, $2, $2 to $3?
2.35% is pretty much the average of what your ticket is.
Is what's the average, like 60, 70, $80? So per transaction, what would?
Yeah,
the customer be paying,
$70.
$3 or $4?
$70.25 is your average vehicle registration. So you're looking at, I think it was $1.65.
Yeah. Yeah, under.
Yeah, $1.65,
Under $2, you think, average?
yes. Yeah, there are some of them that have a $3 minimum. That was the highest minimum.
I've got probably about 7 different times I use it, so I'll be paying more than average person.
Right.
But I think we're gonna have
Somervell County has certainly been the unusual one in the sense that we've absorbed those fees. But
to. Well, it's just convenient services.
It is, and like I said, when we started it, it wasn't so much. But every year, I've increased my credit card fee line item to now we're at $6,000 a year and increasing.
So would y'all like to move forward and migrate away from us paying for it and the customer pay for it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Would y'all like a motion to that effect?
with an effective date.
All right.
Well, what kind of thing?
The company that I'm kind of leaning towards says they can make it happen with in about a week. But I would like at least a month.
Well, I mean, to warn the people,
Yeah, I would like at least a month to be
So you're
able to
thinking
say,
like maybe July 1st?
yeah, that would be probably reasonable.
All right. Well, do I have a motion to that effect?
Yeah, I make a motion to, go with charging the customer credit card fees and effective date of July 1st.
I have a motion, I'm sorry. I have a motion by Kenneth. I have a second by Don. Any further questions or discussion?
I do have one more comment. Is there something we can do as far as a newspaper ad? I don't even know that I have any kind of funds for that to do this.
We'll dig some up, plus we need to get a sign this week up in your office.
Yes.
Any further questions, discussion? All right, I have a motion by Kenneth and a second by Don. All in favor of said motion? It's 5 for, 0 against. Thank you, Darlene. All right, we'll jump to number 6, because we've already done 4 and 5, budget transfers.
I put these on your desk this morning. We just wanted to take the opportunity to, since we were meeting, these are some, as we move forward in our year, becomes a little bit more and more challenging. The biggest item that you'll see, not necessarily the biggest item, but the surprising item, I guess, was the elections administration premium pay. We have some issues there. One of the runoff candidates requested that the early voting be open from 7 to 7, which meant that we had to incur additional expenses for that, keeping the polls open. So we had to move some money over there in anticipation of payroll. We'll also be having to move some more money over there for some part-time expense. And then also for the library, you see at Department 401, we talked about that we had a person that retired out of the library, and then all of a sudden we had some need for some part-time help there because we had one that was taking some medical leave off, and so we were moving that clerk salary that retired into the part-time line item to help cover some of that secretarial pool hours that Peggy was going to need, while that other one was going to be taking some medical leave.
on the election, they request them themselves. 15 signatures, keep the vote moving for 12 hours.
Yes, sir.
Receive 15 signatures.
Correct me if I'm wrong, I think gonna be from like 8 to 5, and then when they request this competition together, they come back, then it went from 7 to 7. So
Correct.
it changed about 3 hours a day, 5 days a week.
I
15
was
extra hours.
visiting Christie Friday afternoon, probably about 6:30, to try to understand a couple of things about it. Number one, with that, what was the usage during that extra hour in the
They didn't know
morning?
about it.
It really wasn't very much, especially in the afternoons. They had maybe one or two that came in during the week, during those afternoons. You know, and then I also asked her to explore with the Secretary of State, see if there's any remedy for this. You know, go forward, can we back bill for that to the request? She didn't know, she was gonna explore. I mean, obviously, we can't do it on this one because we would need to make it aware ahead of time, but, you know, it's really kind of disconcerting. We're in a budget situation and all of a sudden we just had to incur additional expenses. But, you know, she's gonna be doing some research on that. I requested that, so she's working on that.
Make a motion to approve the budget transfer.
I have a motion by John. Have a second by Larry. Any further questions or discussion? All in favor of said motion, it's 5 for, 0 against. All right, as Wade and everybody had time to look at the sealed bids on cover stone and hot mix.
Okay. Wade has had an opportunity to review the two bids for Coverstone and for hot mix cold lay for Vulcan. And Wade's recommendation is to award them. Award them.
Do you want to do it one at a time, together? How would y'all like to do this?
It's one vendor, so you can award them both in a single motion.
So I have a motion that we accept the single bid for Coverstone and hot mix cold lake.
I have a motion by John. Second. I have a second by Kenneth. Any further questions or discussion?
Did it go up on
Yes, it did. Coverstone, check went up. Premix went down $1.12 a ton, which is good. It's never been, first time I've ever seen it go down. And the Coverstone went up. And the reason for it going up is just availability of stone. It's getting harder to find. It went up a little bit, it went up, but the hauling went down, so. It's
Is it a
still
wash?
higher. It's not a wash, no. It's still higher than we paid last year.
Any further questions, discussion, comment? All in favor of said motion? It's 5 for, 0 against. At this time, we will retire into executive session and we will review and discuss the contract for the expo store.